It's time to gather together. Hi there, I'm Yelta, and I'll be buying the first round while we chat about Final Fantasy XIV. This is episode 221. Pull up a chair and join us. On the menu tonight, Valentine's and Little Ladies' Day, new optional items and limited time sale. The Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringer's 2-player starter set is now available. Play free for up to 4 days in the latest free login campaign. Announcing the Digital Fan Festival 2021 art contest. The announcement showcase. Big news, the letter from the producer live, part 62. Join us for the Digital Fan Festival on May 14th and 15th. And pre-order new merchandise. But first, what is going on this week? Ruby.
What up?
What up?
Yelta.
Long time.
Well, yeah. Well, part of that time I was frozen in ice. I live in the great state of Texas. God bless America. God bless Texas. We were cold for a solid 4 or 5 days. Some people, thankfully not myself, are underwater now because all their pipes froze and broke, and they're having to get things repaired. And I know many places thought it was funny. I know there were many people who were actually concerned, but from an outside perspective, it does seem kind of funny that it got cold and that's what happened. But y'all, it's Texas. We were not ready for that. We're none of nothing here is ready for that. No salt on the roads, no plowing of parking lots, no plumbing that is made for those kind of freezing temperatures. There's a lot of things. So anyway, Ruby has survived. Ruby has passed the ice. Ruby, in the midst of all of that, though, kind of leveled up. We bought a house, IRL. I think it's actually easier, maybe, to buy a house in real life than it is to buy one in Eorzea. That's a toss-up. But so we bought a house. So some cool stuff is happening. But I have to tell everyone, I got to take a break. We got to take a little break here for the month of March. I'm going to be stepping out. So if you don't see or hear from myself, or if new episodes aren't pumping out as fast as you'd like, you can blame me. But I want to do our next episode from my new office. So you just give me the month of March, and we'll see you in April. So anyway, life's good on that front, but I haven't had a lot of time for playing too many games between freezing to death and signing title paperwork. It's been kind of wild. But what 14 stuff I did do, Valentine's Day plus Little Ladies' Day, we can talk about it in a minute. I'm not the biggest fan of it. And that's kind of it. I check on the house and some other stuff. My wife played a little bit, and we've been talking about getting on to do some blue stuff. I saw some cool blue information today, and I was intrigued. So I'm also ready to do some super soloing on that because, our good friend Bell Dandy was talking about it, and he says, it's kind of getting to what we wanted it to be, that super solo powerhouse. But I got a bunch of spells I've got to get, and I got to get my ass out to wherever and get power leveled so I can enjoy the fun. But I also have to hook up internet in a new house because I feel guilty playing when I'm not painting and getting things accomplished over there. So very soon, get all my stuff moved, hooked up, back in Eorzea, back on the 1st, back figuring out where we're going next. I have a clue. We'll talk about going up and away here real soon. There's a lot of news because we ain't been talking about this for a minute. So I'll shut up now. And I'll let Yelta tell us what she's been doing in game. So Yelta, what's up? Tell us.
I did play Blue Mage. I got my Blue Mage to 70. Bell Dandy, who you mentioned, was like, "Who wants to come power level my Blue Mage?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll come do it." We just ran around and murdered stuff for a little while, and he's like, "Do you want to do yours?" And I'm like, "Sure." Mine was already level 68 or something because I did. The other thing I did was my White Mage Relic, some of it, and I did Fates there's 2 steps. There's a step where you have to get 18 crystals from Fates in one set of zones and 18 crystals from one another set of zones. And I decided to take my Blue Mage out and do all those fates. I did some before and after they patched it. The same drop rate is better, but it wasn't still awesome. But so I got my Blue Mage up, and I got a couple new spells, but I never got that last one, that Raise. I am too terrible of a player to do that. That it comes from the carnival, so I may have to see if someone smarter than me can tell me with new spells, will I be able to do it faster or easier or something, right? So, but
I don't know that I got that one either, Yelta, to be quite honest.
It's Siegfried, and it's like 3 phases, and I have gotten, into the last phase, and I don't know, I just suck too bad. But I did get my White Mage Relic to the last step. The last step is you can either do Palace of the Dead a bunch of times, and I did try that. The drop rate not great on the floors I did. I've been thinking about seeing if somebody wanted to join up with me and do some of the higher floors, because I think you can only do those as a fixed party. It's been a minute since I've done anything above 100. Or you can do the new 24-man, and I did that like 3 or 4 times one day in a row. Some of them were so fast. I still, even when I screwed up, and I almost made it through without dying even once on one of them, but it was the 4th one or something I ran, and at the very last boss, I think I just zoned out. And I stood in the bad. So, but hopefully soon I can get the White Mage Relic. I did finish the Botanist Relic, and it's shiny. Holy shit.
Wow.
And the relic's it's kind of the same as the last ones. Get these items from over here and get high quality these items over here. I don't know what else you would do, but it's just it's not. It's
till we have maybe whatever new fairyland that they're giving us to, grow gardens and all that other stuff. Maybe there'll be
a step in there or something. I don't know. Yeah, I can complain about it feeling lazy and bad, but I don't know what I would design instead of it. I'm not feeling very creative right now. Did a lot of Boston Southern Front stuff and did Castrum to help some people in the free company and friends of the free company, I think, get their Castrum clears. Did a treasure map day. Did treasure maps for like 2 hours. I think I even capped tomes that week. I went and gathered mats and crafted up and got what I wanted from Ishgard Restoration. I didn't have all the emotes and stuff yet, so I didn't play much when the actual ranking was going on. But so I didn't even go in at all, I think, when the ranking was going on. But I figured I better get the stuff I want. I don't know. That was about it. That's about all I did. I played quite a bit. I do have to get my ass back in the EX fights, because there's a couple that I don't have a mount for. But it's like the ship is. I know it probably hasn't, but it's like I feel like I haven't learned the fight yet, and they're all farm parties up. They're not. I've seen actually a couple of learning parties, but I didn't have time to join them or whatever.
Right.
But it's like I still don't have the Cedar Sacrifice mount, and I don't have the Emerald mount, and I've only done both fights a handful of times, so I'm not feeling like I knew Ruby really good. Right, I went in there. I learned that one.
Well, so good. You had like 300.
tokens. I had 2 stacks, or not 2 stacks, but I could have bought the mount twice, and I had bought weapons early on because I don't know. But that was it. Hopefully, and then of course I did do the seasonal event, and we can talk about that. But listeners, if you want, you can shoot the shit with us. Go to the website, www.gtffxiv.com, or, email us or something. Communicate with us and let us know what you've been up to.
Psychic. Send us a message somehow.
I'll get the Ouija board. All right, then first round, we have news. Well, it's the seasonal event, Valentine. I can never say it.
Valentwat,
whatever. I can never say it, so I just say Valentine's Day. It was an event. It was a single event. It was all right. It was... I expected a little more for the fact it was a combined event. It was cute. The story was, all right, but... And then the rewards... I think we talked about a hat that lots of people can't wear, and a housing item. A lot of people don't have houses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even remember the story that is so good. The Moogle takes what's her face on the quest.
The little girl wants to be an adventurer, and she's downhearted.
That's right.
And then the rest is probably spoilers. But
they really play these things up at the beginning. Like, when I went into this and I'm reading, like, the sob story of the girl with the letter, I'm like, oh, this little girl's going to be, like, really sick, you know? Like,
I
she's at
expected
the hospital.
Door.
Like, she's bad. No, she's just like, what? Mom and Dad won't let him play in the woods or something? What was the problem?
Her parents wouldn't let her go by herself, and she wasn't learning. She went to the Lancers Guild or something, and she wasn't learning as fast as she. I don't know. It was like she got discouraged. I think it was she got discouraged.
Mm-hmm. So we have to do, like, I don't know, emotes and fun feelings and go on an adventure to get the feelings back. At that point it got real fuzzy for me. And then it was like, this was Valentoit's portion, but then it was like, hey, time to meet the 3 chicks from Little Ladies Day or whatever, and go from that. So I was like, I'm going to tell you, I kind of started skipping some text when we got to the
I actually read the whole thing.
To the girls, when we got to the 3 girls, I started skipping a little text. I was like, my eyes are going crossways.
It might be time for them to not, I don't know, to change it up a little or something.
I don't know. Who else is there? It's just it's that, or it's the Sultana's, the little girl from the other tribe that with the caretaker.
Well, yeah, we haven't had dolls for a while. I think it's been a couple years since we had dolls.
From that dynasty or whatever. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so not the biggest fan of this thing. I mean, I wore my hat for a minute. I think I always make a glamour.
I made a Moogle glamour, and I ran around on the Moogle glamour for like a day, and then I'm like, no.
Yeah, I need to log back in though and look at the new decorations. I haven't been logged in, so I need to look at the Little Ladies Day decorations.
Well, and do go into the Free Company house. Some people did make it. It's looking kind of Valentine's Day in there.
Oh, well, that's cute.
Yeah, I think Cohete. I don't know for sure who all, but if they listen to this, I think Cohete was involved. All right, and hand in hand with that, of course, we have new optional items and a limited time sale. So basically, the new optional items are just stuff from previous years. Just the Valentine's Day, Little Ladies Day, emotes, and Dote is on the store now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and those cherry trees.
Yeah. Some of these are good.
Oh no, some of these are good. I've seen people use, especially like those outfits that are dyed the 3 colors. I've seen those actually dyed and look pretty cute. I love the tights, the girls' tights. I love, and I love the men's top.
Yeah. The emote that makes you look like you're working at the airport, at the runway.
Cheer.
People were cheer. I remember the year after that came out. And people were using that emote, and there were many who wondered where that came from, and were mad to know that it came out of an event that they had missed. So I think that one is a seller. I think they make some money off of that guy.
Yeah, people use that one a lot. I see it in Bosnia all the time, especially when there's like a 1v1 going on or something, and people crowd around to look.
And then there's the cherry trees, those beautiful trees. Oh, my goodness. At one time, that could be sold on the market. Well, some still have marketable.
I still have like 2 or 3 of them, I think, that I could sell.
There was a time.
They were millions.
My Sina was put them up there for like $3 million, thinking that nobody would buy it, and then they would sell. And it was like, no.
I think I have a couple still. I have one of those, the Crimson Matte or whatever, that you could buy and sell. But, I mean, people will buy them off the store now, so.
Right.
Actually, scrolling up, I can't remember that outfit. This was, I think, this wasn't a Little Ladies Day outfit, was it? This was the ones that are in white.
The white. Yeah,
I used that one on my Bard.
I used this one on one of my my Dutes, I think. I try to decorate one in each holiday's get-ups.
Yeah, that was Little Ladies Day because it was those girls again. Because they would wear one in each color.
That's right.
Yeah. That was some good stuff for people who missed it. All right, then people who play card games might enjoy the Final Fantasy XIV Shadowbringers 2-player starter set. This got advertised a long-ass time ago. I may have accidentally ordered it twice, and I don't even like this game. I've played this game. I had ordered one of the other sets when it came out, and I didn't really care for it. But this one was Shadowbringer, so I had to have it. It had Emmett, and I might take it over to my sister's again and try it again.
Yeah, I think I went looking for these, or maybe I bought a set at one time, and I don't have any friends, so I don't have anybody to play these kind of games with. And I've had my heyday of playing card games. I used to be a Pokemon card game player. I'll wait. Maybe my son will want to play cards again someday. And so, anyway, I think the art is cute. I think it's adorable. What have you opened the box?
I have not. It's just got. It's purchasable. I don't think it's even shipped yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I mean, I have accidentally ordered two, so we can maybe give one. If I did, we can give one away, or I can send it to you or something.
Oh, yeah, that's a thing.
It's a thought. We keep saying we're going to have contests, and we don't have contests because I'm lazy.
We need to have episodes. We'll have contests.
Oh, all right. And then there is a play for up to 4 days in the latest free login campaign. So, now might be a good time if you haven't gotten caught up. It's from February 17th through March 31st. It's kind of the same thing as before. You have to have been, unsubbed for, 90 days. I don't remember, something. Go look. If you haven't played in a while and you want to check it out again, go look. However, you do have to re-download the game. Did they ever change that? So
I don't know.
Because it starts when you log in the game launcher. So if you have my internet, it would take some of that time just to download the fucking game. So, but yeah, no, I might actually right click and does this one have the one where you can right click on somebody in your friend list and it'll email them? Or is that something different? No, that's something different. That's
the invite a friend
back. That's
invite
a friend back campaign. Yeah, I've done that. All right, announcing the Digital Fan Festival 2021 Art Contest. Digital Fan Festival is coming up. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But there is going to be an art contest. And it's going to be the theme of memorable moments in Final Fantasy XIV. There's 4 different categories, including screenshot-focused ones. So find a medium that suits your style and get started on your future masterpiece. So there's lots of rules here. But they've got it. The categories are illustrated works, digital hand-drawn, screenshot unaltered, screenshot altered, and physical handcrafted works. And there's a submission form on a site and everything. Do not listen to me. Just go to the site if you want to fill any of this out.
The true
rules. My God!
What?
A new prize is in this list.
Dun dun dun.
There's a new fashion accessory. It looks like
the scarf of wondrous wit.
It's the hair and the mandragora choker. Cool.
The silhouette representing the new in-game fashion accessory is just an example and is subject to change. Who's that Pokemon? Well, it looks like an umbrella.
It looks like an umbrella. It's probably one of our parasols. Oh,
it's Psyduck.
Psyduck. Oh my goodness.
Well, and how many times have they given us the hairstyle? Maybe a few times.
That one's newer. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I did submit for some contest, but it was one that they had tons of slots, but I didn't get picked. Even though
it's damn, y'all update the screenshots at least. These are 2.0 screenshots or something. Come on,
they're not great.
3.0, I guess there's an aura on it. I don't know.
All right, and then probably the most exciting thing we've talked about, or read or watched or talked about, I guess, is the Final Fantasy XIV announcement showcase. And we are going to read the Nova Crystallis summary, because that is always my favorite one. So there's a trailer.
Tony.
There's a trailer. We're not going to watch it this time. It's we'll just go watch it yourself.
If you hadn't watched it 50 fucking times already, this thing is bad to the bone. This was amazing.
But I'm just going to skip down to content and features. Some of these are no surprise. The level cap is going to go from 80 to 90. We're getting 2 new jobs, and one of them is a healer. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. The other one's going to be a melee DPS. Because I don't know what else they would have done, though, if they're going to give us 2 jobs. I really expected them to give us another limited job, or maybe that's something they'll slip in there later.
Yeah, I don't know, or maybe they
something.
just decided let's just pump Blue Mage up to some ridiculous thing and be done with limited jobs altogether because it wasn't really what we wanted.
It wasn't what, yeah.
I think the melee DPS angle was that it was uneven with the type of was it the armors
Gear
or the type
sharing,
of gear?
yeah.
The gear sharing that it was, and it does. I think a lot of people, myself included, were thinking of it as the number of range versus the number of caster, and not looking at sub roles within. And we kind of see when we talk about the new healer and what they've done with tanks is these sub roles within roles. They're not real sub roles because, contrary to kind of the information they gave us on that day, they made it seem like there were these sub roles that were going to be something that was going to be indicated in game, not so much. But that we have little breakdowns within these jobs, and when you really break down, you only got like one melee DPS that does that one gear sharing. That was Lancer / Dragoon. Yeah, and there's hints in this one, I think, what it'll be. We can talk about both jobs together when we get down to the healer part. But I think this trailer has a hint about what that melee job is.
You'll have to tell me that, because I watched the trailer a couple times, chatted about it in Free Company chat, and then just have ignored it, because I don't usually care to speculate, but I am curious what other people are speculating. Okay, and they also say massive new areas similar into scope to previous expansions, so that's good. I thought that the first was a fine addition to the zones were big and varied, and
the first is great.
Yeah, Razatan we are getting, which was it's pictured as a towering city above a forest and river located on the island of Thavnir, which will also be explorable. So we're finally going to Thavnir. That's awesome.
Will there be tacos?
Oh,
Are there Thavnarian tacos?
Oh my God, Ruby!
Is this the moment? Is this our moment?
This could be it.
I might.
This could be.
Okay.
We may have to.
I got ideas.
Yeah, okay. And then another area is Garlemald. So the Imperial capital will be a new area, though it seems to be in ruin. I am so excited that Garlemald is not just going to maybe be a dungeon. Or I thought they would slip something in Garlemald here in the end of this patch cycle. And then we would just be no, we're done with that. Sounds like we're not. So we're getting a new tribe. I did note they're not calling them beast tribes or anything anymore. They're just new tribes. The Matanga, is that how you say it?
That's how I'd say it.
Okay. They're going to be added. You might have seen some similar hostile tribe in the Azam Steppe. They will be one of several tribes added to the game. One may be on the moon.
The moon?
The moon. That's cool. Those are elephant-looking type peoples. They're kind of cool.
I hope they're rabbit people on the moon. I hope we get little naming ways or something on the moon.
Oh my God, that would make me very happy. Anima appears as the new threat in Endwalker. That's the expansion name. The artist that originally designed Anima now works as part of the Final Fantasy XIV team and has created a new version for the game. I thought that was exciting. New dungeons will be added to reflect a wide variety of styles from modern to high fantasy. That's awesome. Having a high-end raid called Pandemonium. It's 8-person in the vein of raids like Eden and Omega. It seems like La Habrea will make an appearance. We're I thought we were done with Ascians.
We can talk about, in a minute, because I kind of want to go back and once we're done with this list, let's talk about the trailer just a little bit. But we're not done with Ascians just yet. I do want to add here Pandemonium. Pandemonium is, from a Final Fantasy perspective, is kind of loaded. Pandemonium is found in Final Fantasy II. It is found in Final Fantasy VIII.
All I can think of is Final Fantasy XI, Pandemonium Warden. I mean, that's all I
true.
can think of.
It's also found in Final Fantasy IX. And they mean different things, but one thing that's consistent, I won't say consistent, but that may show something for where we're going or what could be happening, is between 8 and 9. 8 references a moon in the sense of the lunar cry, and that's the monsters dripping from the moon onto the Earth's surface. And 9 references like Brand Ball, which is the resurrection of the moon, or a displacement of souls, or bringing back a dead planet to life. So Pandemonium is loaded. We don't know what direction.
In Final Fantasy II, it's the capital of Hell.
That's correct.
Okay,
That's where...
I'm at the wiki now.
Yeah,
it's a location. Sometimes it's an enemy. It's probably a location. Well, the Omega ones were not a location. Well, anyway.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's a lot to go with there, so let your imagination run wild. But it's a cool name that they're going with here.
Yeah. The new 24-person Alliance raid is going to be added. That's like Yorha and Crystal Tower. It's not going to be a collab. It's going to be unique to this game, it sounds like.
Very cool. I like that.
Awesome. I don't mind the collabs. I like Yorha. I don't really like it in my Final Fantasy, but I prefer... It's kind of nice to go back and forth, maybe do a collab, don't do a collab. They're doing some sort of... Oh, Ruby, by the way, this is your shining glory. It's about the PvP. They're not there because you were the one who was like, weren't they gonna cut some PvP? They're gonna add a small scale PvP content, some sort of casual small scale PvP. They're gonna remove role restrictions that will make matching easier, casual yet immersive in gameplay. A new type of reward system that won't be just gear.
Just gear though, so gear could be involved with it.
Yeah.
Because I would love to be able to get some of that badass looking gear. I'm sure the Feast people would be a little upset. I would still
want wolf marks or something.
Well, sure.
But, yeah, I wouldn't mind if it gave us a different currency.
It could call it replica. I don't care as long as it looked fine. But I'm not looking to get redeemed here. I'm just looking to get some kind of PvP that is going to be fast to load into. And I think the removing of roles was always a direction they should have gone. Yes. Every player should be able to stand on their own 2 feet in whatever content. Now, if that means making the PvP content something that is not strictly battle related, like passing a football between 2 people to get or through a team to get it across the finish line, or you give everybody some kind of separate but equal kind of level with equity, level playing field full of moves, attacks, something. But I'll let the great minds think of that because they are supposedly getting real PvP minded people to be working on this content.
Yeah, I thought I had read that somewhere that they were actually getting experienced PvP designers or something involved. So we're getting new side quests, role quests, crafter and gather quests will be added. The format from Shadowbringers is going to persevere, but with one change. In Shadowbringers there were 4 roles, now they're going to be 5: tank, healer, melee DPS, range DPS, caster DPS. That's cool. 5 stories instead of 4. I totally get why we're not getting class quests or job quests for every single one. That's a lot of story to try to make good. I personally would rather have 5 good quests than 13 lame ones or whatever we're at. Oh, new gear and recipes will be added.
Can you believe it?
Astinian will be added to the trust system.
Whoa.
I know some people hate Astinian, but I like him. The reason why he's still secret... he always kind of does his own thing, but I think if properly motivated, he would probably show up. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's going to fulfill a melee DPS role as Dragoon. The system will also get an update in Endwalker, including new characters and features. So are there new characters? Yay. I'm assuming like Shadowbringer's characters from the story, right?
I would assume so. Like how they added some kind of side characters. What was the name of the general, the Vieira, that was the kind of general chick, kind of Lise or whatever.
What was the Crystal... my mouth can't words. This time around, I might do the dungeons the first time with the characters. I feel like I messed up. I would rather play with real people, but the first time might have more impact with the NPCs. With the trusts.
To me, this is the direction they will eventually finalize with this game, where it can be played solo. For new players, so they can see the whole story. I think I also recall during the thing they said that the melee DPS was a sorely lacked role in the trust system, and that was another good fit for Estinian.
The Gold Saucer is going to get a major new attraction, so I hope it's good.
Snowboarding. Blitzball.
Yeah, that might be interesting. I'm very interested in this one. Island Sanctuary is a new type of content where players can enjoy a slow living type of play. It's not limited to just crafters and gatherers. Anyone can participate. But crafting and gathering will have its role to play. Some of the content hinted including raising animals or cultivating a deserted island, letting your minions roam around. A lot of our brains went to, is this some form of instanced housing?
Did not we say this, Yelta?
I said give everybody a fucking island. I said that.
You said that. Give everybody an island. Or when we talked about...
I said give every free company an island is actually what I said.
We talked about instancing. We had a long discussion about instancing in the previous episode, and we said... the power of instancing in this game, it's almost like, do you even have to have the hub that is the overworld, at this point? Because they seem to be able to do so much more within an instance than they do into an open area. And I think housing falls into that same category. You got a big open ward, and you're limited, like the number of spaces that you can have outside. They managed to give us more spaces inside because those are instanced, but in that other area... In the outside area, there's less spaces. Now, somebody's probably screaming at their listening device and saying, Ruby, you don't understand how instancing works. And you're right, I don't understand how instancing works. But it always seems to me, in this game, there are those common areas that have shitty performance or you can't do quite as much stuff. But then you go into some instanced content in Final Fantasy XIV, and they can do all kinds of shit.
Let me just say one phrase. Glamour dresser. Where can we have a glamour dresser?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Right?
You go. So there's always some kind of excuse about, why they can or cannot do something or another. So my thing is, our thing was, they can instance everybody a house. And then Island Sanctuary appears. We don't know quite what it's going to be yet, but I think they're going to lean more into some kind of instanced content to appease people who can't do gardening and stuff. And somebody may go, well, this is better than housing, or it's equivalent to me. So we'll see.
Well, and especially, we don't know how it's going to work either. I hope you don't have to buy it. I hope you don't have to stay stubbed to keep it. I hope it's persistent in that maybe, I go back to it and, maybe there will be a little house there. Or maybe there will be garden plots where I can grow the same stuff as in the housing stuff. I'm assuming there's going to be stuff I can do there that I can't do at the house. Right. So that's kind of, why would you? But I don't know. I like something that I can just log in and putz around with while seeing if anybody else wants to come do something.
Right.
It's something that, or something I can do while I'm... See, the only thing that I worry about instancing, I want to be able to queue up for stuff while tending my sheep or whatever.
And that may be the reason why there's a hub, the common areas.
Yeah, but I'm not sure. All right, and Ishgard's Firmament is going to be added as a new residential district. In 6.0, we'll be able to walk around the district and scope out a plot, but you can't buy till 6.1. So, to all the people who are like, Ishgard's not going to be a residential district.
Well, it is.
Well, it is. And the free company sounded a little interested in trying, so we may have to before 6.0 decide, get our storage in order so that we could move if we wanted to. But we'll have a whole patch to decide that.
Yeah.
If the zone is ugly or if there's some, I don't know. I guess it's our free company.
It's true.
But I don't really care. I kind of like where we are.
Yeah.
Even though it's older, even though it's not, my choice would have been lavender beds, but
they managed to face all of those houses backwards.
Or all the ones that were available were either one of them was like super far from the bell or something, or the market board. Or I can't remember.
It was a board, yeah.
And one of them was like facing the fucking ugly tree.
It could be the most beautiful winter wonderland over the rolling hills of Coerthas with, beautiful spires with snow falling. I don't know. You're probably sick of snow. I'm sick. I was sick of snow after
I like snow.
day 3 of freezing my ass off. So
I don't have to shovel in Eorzea.
That's true.
Right?
Cast fire.
Just cast fire. Oh. This next one surprised me, and my knee-jerk reaction was, why are you dumbing shit down? But I've come to terms with it. So they're going to remove belts completely as an equipable slot. Their stats are generally not worth anything.
Right.
It takes a lot of inventory space, and they're invisible on your character. And I know that, like, some people, like, I don't know, Baldani was talking about raiders will like this because that slot's so stupid or whatever. I don't remember now. The space is going to be redistributed to a primary weapon/tool and ring slots in your armory. So belts aren't going to drop in duties or be exchanged with tombstones. Not noted here, but I thought I had heard that you should pull your materia off the belts before this happens.
Before the actual happening, you need to grab your materia because once they're no longer equipable, you're going to lose your materia. So yank your materia out of all your belts.
Yeah, so
I'm ambivalent, but a part of me is happy because what have we dubbed the 24-man raid for the longest time? World of Belts. Whenever we would run World of Darkness, you would just get belts, and it's like, Jesus Christ, I want real gear, not belts. I want something I can see on my character.
Half the time I run the 24-mans, the only stuff I keep is for glamour anyway.
Right. So, 24-man raid. It's the big glamour fest, and we don't want crappy belts. So that just makes the loot pool better. I'm just very happy about that.
Yeah, I think that's good.
And then, come on, we had good belts in 1.0. There was that key belt and all that stuff, and then they merged it into some of the gear.
We also had 2 earrings and 2 bracelets, too, remember?
That's true.
2 earrings, 2 bracelets, and did we have 4 rings? I don't remember.
Know about 4 rings.
I know that we had 2 earrings and 2 bracelets at the time.
And I get how you reduce slots and all that business, but... was this the plan, Yoshida? Have you been playing the long game with us? Did you remove the glamour, the belt glamour in 1.0 so you could stab us in the heart in 6.0?
I was hoping if they had planned on this already, they would have just fucking done it at 2.0, but whatever.
You should have just stabbed me in 2.0, Yelta.
All right, there's a lot of discussion about this next one. Damage calculations will be crunched between level 51 and 80. We knew this was coming, right?
Yeah.
The numbers are out of control, and that's something that happens when you have a 10-year-old game that you just get more and more and more powerful. It was interesting to me they were discussing how the enmity calculation was to the point where if you got +1, it would be bigger than the field's format size, and it would become 0.
Oh, wow.
Right? Something like that.
It's like Pac-Man going to the 256 screen, Like, it just completely goes to hell.
Yeah. So Yoshida stated there's many reasons why this had to happen. One of them is a long-term necessity to keep upward character progression without breaking the game. Currently, damage trajectory is causing in-game issues from display level to overflow bugs. He went on to great pains to stress that while the damage output might be scaled down, it doesn't mean your character is getting weaker. The sole exception may be in undersized groups where you attempt older content when you might not output as much damage comparatively to now. Well, honestly, undersized groups are just breaking stuff so bad anyway. That's already too powerful. But I get why they have to do this. And as long as the scaling is equal everywhere, you know what I mean? As long as we're not we don't feel weaker.
There may be a pain point. I don't know if it would be like at 70 or 73 or somewhere in that. Like, I don't know if there's going to be a spot like at 69 that makes it like when you're leveling down, it's actually kind of hard because it's close to the next cap, but it's still been crunched. Because what are we crunching? 51 to 80. So like maybe 79 could be like, a bitch, or 80 is a bitch.
No one
to get
likes
through
69.
Or something, No one likes 69. That can't be true.
Google it.
Everyone loves 69. So
But
nice.
no, I'm not too worried about it. And if they fuck up the damage calculations to level 80, we'll report it and they will eventually tweak stuff, right?
It's too hard.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry, level 51 to 80 is so fucking easy anyway. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of dungeons where if you're not over geared, you might have a little issue if you try to like big pull or something, but it's not hard. All right, data center travel is in the works.
Hey.
This is cool and interesting and causing a lot of discussion in our Free Company Discord chat because there's a lot of people who have characters on multiple data centers to play with lots of people and are trying to decide if they need to pare down their alts or whatever. But it may require a different method to execute than the world visit system, which allows you to travel to different worlds on your cluster. We don't know what the restrictions are going to be.
Right.
We don't know, we don't know technically how they're going to do it.
I feel like, did they say something about the markets where they were like, people were worried about the markets before and it didn't happen, so they don't need to worry now,
Yeah,
which
think
gave
so.
me the feeling that the markets are going to be open across all. Like, that isn't going to be a restriction. Don't quote me on that. They're not saying that flat out here, but I get the impression that the markets is not one of those things that's going to be limited to any great degree. There may be some kind of caveat, but like you should be able to buy when you go to other places. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It is interesting to me because I do have Yelta Sumusus on different data centers just to make sure I have a character that can go visit someone. One of them I think I did a jump potion so I could get, and then it was during Shadow or Stormblood. We had that event for that charity. What was it? But I jump potted my character, and then I still had to level.
It was the
get through the
Blitzball.
MSQ. Yeah, I had to get through the MSQ to be able to get to the zone everything was happening at, and then it ended up I was busy that weekend and couldn't make it anyway, or whatever. So, all right, we do have a new job. It's a healer. It's Sage. I don't know what I think about this, Ruby. What do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it's some Allegan shit, so I mean, I get it. Like, okay, from the standpoint of, oh, wow, this is what they chose? It's in line with Final Fantasy lore, so it doesn't, bother me, other than the fact, when I think of Sage, I think of advanced jobs.
That's not what I was thinking of when they said Sage. I'm going to say that right. Yeah.
You were thinking of the herb?
No. What they showed us in the trailer is not what I thought of when they said
There's the
Sage.
Sage I think about as Final Fantasy 3 has books or whatever. There's a certain kind of gear to it. It's not this Allegan deal, this Ironworks looking kind of deal. But also ninjas in advanced job in Final Fantasy 3. So I was like, well, you can throw that theory out the window if you want to go, that hardcore with it. And I kind of got over the fact that it's Sage. The Allegan, the high-techy kind of stuff, I don't know how I feel about it. It's just
and there's people in
I
our
like
free company who are
sci-fi, so it doesn't really bother me that much. But it's not like
there's some people in our free company who are just all about it, and they're like, "I'm going to play a healer now," and I'm like, "I'm super happy you have a healer, but this is not what I was."
Now, from a role, because I don't know if this article talks about it does about the pure and the barrier, and we'll get into that. But just my thoughts initially is I'm not a very good scholar. I like to summon. I play summoner, but I'm not a very good scholar. And then they've changed scholar a little bit. It's essentially the same, but then they've reduced some of the fairy functions, whatever. And I've gotten a little better since they simplified it. But I never really get the gist of barrier healer that much. When I play Astrologian, I usually play in the pure form. Doesn't everybody? And I never really got the barrier type healing because that's proactive instead of reactive. And I'm more used to White Mage, a reactive type healer.
Yeah, and if it's a fight I know, I can be proactive in starting my cast when I know the damage is going to hit. So
Right.
But I'm not a barrier. I'm more a reactive healer too.
Right.
Regens and pure heals.
Yeah, I agree. But I may give Sage a chance because I would be interested in the new flare. Will it work essentially the same? Probably, but I don't know. There may be they may be able to do a neat caveat when by simplifying these roles. That's my opinion. There's more that I want to say, but I kind of want to hear what you have to say about the job.
the theme of the job doesn't do anything for me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not digging the weird floaty things.
Mm-hmm.
But it's probably just, and it's a barrier healer, which is not my thing either.
Right.
I'll absolutely play it, but I'm not going to like pick it up, power level it on day one, and go through the storyline on it.
Right.
No.
Yelta Sage forever.
I'll do it later. But, I've had jobs where I didn't think I would like it and I loved it. So we'll see what happens. But I'll probably just take my White Mage through. Or honestly, I might just take a damage dealer through.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Especially if I do the storyline first using trusts. Well, then who the fuck cares about queue times?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Right? So we'll see what happens. That's really my thoughts. Is I don't know if I like the aesthetic of the job, and I don't usually tend to pick a barrier healer because if they're going to make Astrologian a straight up pure healer, they called it, right?
Yeah.
So Scholar and Sage will be barrier, White Mage, and Astrologian will be pure healer. Hell, who knows? Maybe with some reworks, Astrologian might be my new jam.
Yeah,
I could never keep track of the cards and shit, and also trying to. I am too dumb not to White Mage. Everybody's like, White Mage is basic bitch stuff and really easy, and I'm like, well, then that's what I am.
I just like the flow of White Mage. I like the spell names of White Mage. It's just, it's fine. It screams Final Fantasy. I like White Mage as just an aesthetic and overall.
White Mage, they need to give me a fucking AoE dot. I want Arrow 2 back. That's really about all I want.
Yeah, honestly, I think I'd be more okay with Scholar if it was more traditional, because you can't have, I guess you do have two jobs with books, but I was going to say Sage is like, I think of with books too, so you couldn't have like two healers with books, right? So I get why they went with these new lists or whatever, but back on Scholar, like, I would be happier if they got rid of the fairy on Scholar and did something different got rid of the pet altogether on Scholar and made it like just that kind of green glowy barrier heal, and then this could be some kind of Magitech glowy heal or something like that. But I'm not trying to take the identities away of things. I just never understood the pet healing as much as I understood pet attacking. But I do like the distinction of the roles, and I want to talk about that just for a second, is the pure and the barrier type, because we had seen that with the tanks, kind of, like there were two that were more off-tanky or better at AoE type stuff, or I don't really know, because I don't play tank well enough to say which is which, but they gave that impression when tanks were coming out that they were going to have like two that felt one way and two that felt another, and then when they talked about the healer and breaking it down into a kind of a 2 and 2, they leaned in heavy. That made it feel like, was there going to be an actual distinction in game? And there's not, but it's a distinction with the play style. And I think this is the dumbing down is what they need to be able to make it more creative, because apparently having 3 or more types of healers is too much. They can only do 2 types of healers and then do whatever types of flair they want between those 2 healers. So on the the Astrologian note you were talking about, how it might be more fun, the cards you might be able to get more into, maybe so. They may be able to do more with the cards because we're no longer having to balance 2 types of healers within the same healer or whatever. I talk about Scholar and Summoner because I wish they would do that within those 2 jobs too, where there was a split personality within Astrologian. If they can't get that shit right, split Scholar and Summoner up and free them both from whatever entangles them. That's a different topic, but I do like the pure versus barrier type. I think we will see a continuing streamlining of roles like they're doing with the 2 melee roles and some of those things. And otherwise, as long as it keeps my ass cured. To me, though, I think there'll be another sub-role, possibly, and that is which 2 healers are better at attacking. So White Mages do some damage, right?
Yeah. Yep.
In our trailer, and I don't mean the Sage trailer, I mean the Endwalker trailer. Our boy Alphino got a new job. He's a Sage, and the first thing he does is attack. He's attacking. So they really showing healers fighting right here.
Yep.
I think that says something about Sage as a job.
We might have some damage, yeah.
Right. You want to talk about the trailer real quick?
Sure.
Okay.
Let's see.
Just very, very briefly, I wanted to talk about some things that I saw in the trailer and whatever, and I'll read this little part up here.
Yeah.
So Endwalker is going to represent a new dawn, and in the trailer we saw Alphino and Alizé doing some fighting. They're back in Eorzea, but there's it seems like some shit's going down. And then the Warrior of Light.
There's some mobs out there that are not normal overworld mobs.
It's for the area, and it just seems like they're a little more out of control than usual. I mean, you should be able at their level to be handling the shit in Eorzea, right? Now they're struggling, and so you pop out Warrior of Light is Paladin. So we saw Paladin,
and he looking good,
looking fine, looking mighty fine. And we got to see Alphino as a Sage. Of course, Alizé is still Red Mage. And I'll skip around a little bit, but we see us also on the moon. So we get our moon reveal. We're looking real Ascian-y to me. It's super Ascian. And we see another Ascian. We see Fandaniel. And then Fandaniel is in one of these towers. It's these creepy bone-looking. It looks like the Void, the Dark Side, maybe the 13th, maybe stuff from it looks it's like Void Arc walls. Void Arc,
right?
That death kind of stuff. And you see Fandaniel. It's like he rides an elevator. He goes to the front, the top, and it's like. It's our boy Xenos.
Fucking Xenos is there.
He's still there.
God damn it! He's not dead yet.
He's not dead yet. He's looking prettier though. Here, he looks prettier than he did in
everybody
Stormblood.
looks prettier in this trailer. By the way,
yes,
we need to
everybody
mention that Alphino and Alizé are beautiful.
They are beautiful.
The Warrior of Light, Warrior of Darkness, whatever. He looks fucking amazing.
And
Even Daniel's image looks amazing.
Oh yes, and let's not skip the fact that the twins are finally in a trailer. That they get their props for them to be in the trailer.
And Alizé got a new outfit, right?
She did.
She finally got her new clothes.
Yeah. So they got over their lack of clothes. Now this was the part, Yelta, that I was talking about. That's the reveal for the other job. When you see Fandaniel walk behind to the throne of Xenos. In the bottom left of the throne is a curved tip that looks like a scythe that is on the
and scythes were heavily hinted at in T-shirts, right?
So we did have our shirt reveal during the announcement, and there was some Children of Bodom or whatever the metal group. There was some stuff that alluded to maybe Necromancer, but I got a feeling it may not be called Necromancer, Yelta. I kind of feel like it may be called something else, but it's still going to be a melee DPS.
They could call it
sides.
Reaper. They could call
like
it
a
whatever.
Reaper or something like that. I had a name for it, but I can't think of what I wanted to call it. But it's going to be whatever the job that Ranjit was. You're going to see finally. I think
whatever
the
was?
fighting style. Well, didn't Ranjit use a scythe? Wasn't there a scythe?
I don't remember. Yeah, I think maybe. Where's the scythe where he used? Oh, wait, I found it. Let me back up one frame. I'm like, where the fuck did you see a scythe?
It's just the curved tip, and of course, this is people are speculating. That's what that curved tip is of that blade. But yeah, Ranjit used a type of scythe there, so we may be seeing a new fighting style. Remember, Xenos likes to use the fighting styles of areas he's been to or seen and some things. So I think we're going to see some cool shit maybe come out of the scythe or come out as a scythe from that. Anyway, I lost my place. That's kind of some big stuff. Oh, I do also want to mention, we've talked about the moon quite a bit, and the moon is a big deal. The moon speaks heavily to Final Fantasy IV. The moon is in so many Final Fantasies, but the moon does speak heavily to Final Fantasy IV. We've seen some Final Fantasy IV type stuff. I'm throwing this out there because I've thought about this for a long time, but there were twins in Final Fantasy IV, Palom and Porom. And they gave the ultimate sacrifice at some point after, before they got to the moon or whatever. They're showcasing the twins here. Are twins here going to have a Palom and Porum moment? I'm not saying they're going to die, but are they going to do some sort of ultimate sacrifice together, work together, so that the Warrior of Light can get to the moon? I wonder. Will we see how much Final Fantasy IV are we going to see in Endwalker? Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Interesting thought.
Interesting thought. So I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go to the moon. I'm ready to see what all there is to see up here. I'm ready to see what this new job is. It's going to be a lot of cool stuff.
Well, and we didn't mention it, but Yoshi P was very adamant that 6.0 was 6.0, not the patches after it, but 6.0 was going to wrap up 1.0 storyline, basically.
That's right.
Right?
No more loose ends.
That it's supposed to, I don't know why, but I thought we were getting our loose ends fixed with 5.0, but
I don't think it's the fairy tale ending that people want. People are so horny for these Asians that I don't think that anybody is going to feel sexually fulfilled until they're back alive or, in some kind of moon shadow land living peacefully ever after. I think that there's going to be some twisted they get to have their life back in some way until
some limited form or
in a crystal moon something they'll be able to live their lives out in perfect harmony with the peace. But we also have to find out what the voice was, right? What was the mysterious noise?
We need to know what the sound was. We
Right.
need to know what caused their apocalypse.
And does that thing emanate from the same spot throughout all of the shards? And is that thing underneath Silver Tier? Will we see what's under? What the fuck was that about Silver Tier? So there could be quite a bit of revelation.
Well, and what about the Mother Crystal?
Yeah, there's that whole Hydaelyn
What about
Zodiac.
Hydaelyn, right? We still don't have resolution for Hydaelyn and Zodiac. I'm under the impression that that's supposed to get explanation, resolution, something.
We have artwork that kind of shows
that's
something
right.
similar
Yep,
here.
there was a very beautiful piece of artwork. They said that if we look at it now, we're not even going to understand everything going on in that artwork. We're going to look back at it after the patch and be like,
Mm-hmm. We're going to get it. I have heard people compare this to the chaos and order from Dissidia. It has very, very look of those two characters there. So interesting.
Also very interesting was the letter from the producer live 62. This is more happening now, right? Not now, but soon.
Yeah.
So this is about patch 5.5. It's called Death Unto Dawn. We're getting new main scenario quests. We're getting a new dungeon that's named something I couldn't even possibly say. Paglithin? Something like that.
Uh-huh. Sure.
The ominous structures that appeared at the end of 5.4 can be seen off in the distance. Where could this location be? We're getting new Chronicles of a New Era quests, new trials, the Cloud Deck and the Cloud Deck Extreme. That's going to be Diamond Weapon, we think, right? With the
Yes.
Sorrow of World.
Yes.
Yorha Dark Apocalypse is getting Chapter 3, and it's a secret. There's white balls involved. People who played Yorha know what that white ball is. We're getting job adjustments, PvE adjustments, and PvP adjustments. So they're coming. Upgrading resistant weapons is patch 5.45. So this is some of the stuff. And they've even patched stuff since they announced this. This is like, all this stuff. Honestly.
Yeah, people have complained since.
People who play know what this is.
Well, and what were those changes? It was the coin drops. What did we get? There was the more medals or whatever. Not metal.
They've added more and more
metal,
rewards to Castrum.
Right, there wasn't a reason to do Castrum. There was like it was a
waste. When the patch came out, they're like additional rewards, and like I ran it a few times. And first of all, it's ass getting a good group in there. The hard part I had was when just going in with a pug. It was like you had so many new people who didn't know what to do, and weren't doing anything right. I only had success when going in with a full group of my own and lucking out that other people were in there who knew what to do. And communicating. So even if you don't know what the hell you're doing, if someone's taking charge and explaining stuff, usually you can still win. But I can't even unlock the new 24-man Savage mode because I keep losing metal.
Yeah, my understanding, well, from the old one, people didn't want to run that for any reason. People were losing more metal than getting metal. People didn't know what to do. They weren't getting any kind of coins out of it worth their time.
Well,
so
it took you at least a half hour or an hour to pop it, even if you got into a fresh instance.
Right.
That just does not. They need to up how often that pops or something. I'm sorry, I interpreted the shit out of you.
Well, no, I was only going to say that. Like you said, when you read this digest, listener, you know that some of the shit has changed since they even posted this, making things better.
Yeah, it sounds like the rewards are better now, and that's good. All right. Let's see. Save the Queen update. That's the final step in the Resistance weapon upgrades, and there's also some story in there, so... the Unreal Trial update is Titan. We know that now, but it's going to be something else in 5.5. I still haven't done an Unreal Titan.
I haven't done one either.
We went in for one night, got to ads, and then people were like, pfft. I think still the rewards are not enough, right?
Yeah. If
we knew we could get something after doing it a couple weeks in a row or 3 weeks in a row, but it's so many.
Right.
I don't know. It's a lot of work for the rewards.
The feeling that you would have to run it like with bad luck once per week for every week of a patch to maybe get the chance to earn enough score to get it, because you still got to play the game to get the points.
Yeah.
So it's like getting a group and beating it and then actually getting the right number of points, getting lucky enough. That's kind of harsh, and I get that the mount is really nice and all that, but maybe something else that makes you feel rewarded. I don't know. It is old content, even though it's been leveled up. So you gotta incentivize it enough to get people to go in. Other than, hey, do you want to beat this old shit again? Isn't that the name of this game? Beat old shit again.
Yeah. Well, and I think some of the things that so Shiva. You remember original Shiva. We weren't... I know your Cinna was kind of disappointed how easy she was when she first came out.
Yeah, in comparison, right. After we did, Titan was... not Titan, Ramu was very difficult.
Titan was hard, Ramu was hard.
And then they kind of... It didn't really feel dumb. It felt more balanced, in my opinion.
Shiva wasn't very hard.
Right.
It was pretty easy, pretty straightforward fight to learn. It was pretty easy to execute. So the Unreal, honestly, we taught it to brand new people in a night.
Yeah.
And Titan is a little harder, and I don't know. There's a lot of things that feel like bullshit to people in that fight. And it's like, I think I had a hard time getting people to come back. To come back and try again.
Yeah.
Because there's that's too hard for the rewards. So I don't know. I am excited to see what the new trial will be. I do want to go in and do some naval, but I just haven't. I don't know. And joining pugs is so hit or miss. I just don't even know. Either the fight's all pros who know how to do it, and I'm I haven't done it yet in Unreal version, so I don't feel like I can join that group. So I'm trying to find the group that's right for me. Or it's we're gonna try this shit from the beginning, and I'm I don't know if I just want to waste 2 hours of my time.
Right.
All right, we are getting Crafter and Gatherer updates, more challenging expert recipes, challenging content geared to crafters will require a high level of equipment and expertise and expert use of crafting skills, and there's going to be achievements and unique crafting tools. Also, Gatherer update, maps open via the gathering log will indicate the areas where gathering points will appear, so that's nice. And a listing of fish to be released at fishing holes will be added, so that's cool. Most of the gathering stuff is pretty easy, especially in the newer zones. Some of the older zones, they'll have the low rank stuff next to the next low rank stuff, and it's hard to find the match you wanted.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, sometimes it's that subtle difference between it's the offhand versus the main hand, but sometimes it's not even that. It's just like one little patch over, and it's very.
There's some North Shroud ones. I was leveling another character. I was playing on my character actually last week. That I play with our friend Raven, and I was just in there. I just wanted to use up my rested bonus because I hadn't played her in a while, and I'm just like trying to find the maple sap or something.
Yeah.
And it's like the level 5 ones are here, the level 10 ones are over here, and it's like I have to go find it, and it's like,
yeah,
I don't mind it telling me
it's
where those are.
That zone
too
gets
close
me.
Together.
There's one it's like cinnamon or something that's in those trees that it's like it's in. You walk right in the zone, it's like it should be in this tree, but it's not. You got to walk like down the hill, and it's next to the shack or something. I
don't mind, especially if it's stuff you've already found. I don't want to have to try to remember all that stuff, but... All right. Ishgardian Restoration update. The Firmament will periodically celebrate its completion. I don't know what that means, but that sounds awesome.
Fireworks.
And during these periods, the locals will hold fates. No. They're like parties. That word means like parties.
More fates.
More fates.
So there'll still be fates in the zone. That's cool. It's funny.
And we're going to get a new custom delivery client. I don't have all my achievements from the newest one. I kind of got all the stuff and got ranked up and whatever, but I still have achievements. I have to go get help that dragon every week.
He's my last one. I got to get that dragon finished up.
Yeah, I've got all the stuff you can get from him, but I don't have all the achievements from satisfying him.
Well, got to satisfy your dragon.
Got to satisfy the dragon.
That might be the episode title.
But it sounds like satisfying the dragon. It sounds like it's going to be related to the Firmament, so another one there. I still haven't finished. So since our server has finished upgrading that zone, we have a culinarian statue. And There's now more side quests. I have to go back and do those side quests. They're always cute. They're like about. We've talked about it before, but it's kind of nice because I always felt like we ended the Dragon Song War and then pieced out.
Yeah.
And never, so the Ishgard Restoration and this little side quests and everything to me are actually cool. Ruby, we're getting a triple triad update.
I said, look at the first bullet point.
I squeed, honestly, adjusting the use of 4-star cards in decks. So it makes me so mad. I worked so hard and got so many of these cards or lucked out. And my decks are still all fucking garbage.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it does. It blows that you can't use that stuff because it's like, what's the point of a 4-star card? Who's going to use a 4-star card over a 5-star card? There may be some nuanced points, but for the most part, no. They should allow you like 1-5, 1-4, and then whatever you want to do for the rest of them to make them work. So, and when you play Triple Triad as a whole, there's uses for the low-end cards when you've got rules like reverse. It's good to have some 1-star cards. Sometimes for the use of the plus rule, you want a couple of those cards that have similar numbers. So in the low-end cards, there's variety for building decks, but your 4-star, what's the fucking point of those? You might as well have 1, 2, 3, 5. So this is great.
Yeah. No, I'm pretty happy. Well, especially when playing NPCs, who the fuck cares if I can kick their ass because I have a 4 and a 5? Mm-hmm. Or whatever. I don't know. They're also going to make an adjustment to the acquisition rates of certain hard-to-obtain cards. I've got a couple that I cannot get no matter how bad I beat that guy. And a reward will be added for obtaining a certain number of triple triad cards. And they say all triple triad cards, but I think they did say something in voice about... They don't mean all. They mean all as of right now or whatever.
Wow. They mean all. They should mean all other than the ones that they make nigh impossible to get. But maybe with this adjusted thing, maybe our packs will finally get updated.
I'll believe it when I fucking see it.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. I'm still missing some out of a couple of those. And once in a while, I'll wander over and buy a couple, 10, whatever, or 30 packs.
Cecil and Furion. Come on, I need them.
I got super lucky on one or the other. I can't remember which one. I think I have one of them.
Give me.
I already sent you triple triad cards.
I know. Yeah, I got some real ones. Those are even better.
We've received feedback regarding NPCs that ignore the match restrictions that players have, but this requires changing the algorithm, and that's not going to be ready for 5.5. Adjustments will continue to be made, so we ask us to wait longer. So.
Okay.
Explorer mode's going to add level 70 dungeons, level sync and level item sync can be disabled, and instruments can be used in Explorer mode. I still have an Explorer mode.
I did it one time, take a picture, and that was about it.
Yeah. I'm hoping that doesn't take a lot of programming to
use
do
that.
that,
Use that
like,
energy to fix fellowships. How about that?
Something.
Oh, can we talk about that real fast? I just want to take a
let's
little side
go
step.
because there was like there was a little mini tweet storm.
Well, yeah, it's about the RP community, and maybe I'm not, I don't have enough information to talk about this right now, but apparently the story I get is that there was a rogue GM that was going through the Party Finder listings, and anybody that was doing RP Party Finder listings was putting them up or getting sent to jail and were getting a slap on the wrist, a warning. And so they were removing these things. I had read it was a rogue one. I had read it was multiple GMs. I've read this is just the way it is.
What was their reason?
It's not a proper use of the Party Finder. Not a proper.
Well, then take off the selling runs.
Well, that's what an argument was. Take off the selling runs, but they can't prove that something was sold if it's done off client or whatever, and that's actually in-game content. My argument would be, what's the other tab for? And then this is not even. It wasn't based on 18 plus stuff either. It wasn't anything that could have been in some weird category. That's my understanding. That could be completely wrong facts, but it was kind of a deal that was happening due to this GM, this situation there. How did we get to that? Why did I even bring that up?
I don't know. My mind spaced out and I missed something.
This is on a recording. I should be able to rewind it and go to the spot.
Go back and find out what we were talking about.
Why I said that, but
because I don't even I've said over and over and over again. I don't really care.
Oh, fellowships.
I don't care if there's crafting. I don't care if there's gathering. I don't care if it's RP. I don't even care about 18 and up RP or selling runs. I just wish we could fucking sort those out.
Yeah.
That's all.
I
want to find all of the people who need help with something. Or whatever,
right.
Not selling runs or whatever.
Well, and I think where the fellowship part came in, and why I said that was,
They're
I think
fucking useless.
Well, yes, because a GM I think said these things need to be done through fellowships. But fellowships, come on, who's fucking using those? I mean, maybe there's people. Maybe I hadn't logged in, because I ain't logged in 2 weeks or whatever. Maybe fellowships have become a thing since. I doubt it. So, what the fuck is going on? Why would we use fellowships when they don't have an active calendar? They don't have any way that, we could actually do something together. It's not a good search.
Thing. If I was looking for something that I might advertise in the Party Finder, there's no good way for me to search for that. There's not I don't know.
So
they're so stupid. They're so stupid, and it makes me so angry.
Yeah, I don't know what to say about the RP. I'm not an RPer, so I don't really have a dog in that fight. I'm not going to defend something. I'm not going to, talk down something. I just want, if a GM is going to say you need to use this instead of that, well, then this needs to be useful.
Yeah, it needs to be at least as convenient to use as that.
And then why the sudden change? Why was it okay yesterday? But today, I can't put something RP related. That's my understanding. Maybe they've been taken down the whole time, and then it just been discovered recently. But that's not the way I read it.
Unless they're knocking on the door of there's too much stuff in the Party Finder, right? If they're having a technical issue where they can't, but then they need to modify something, But I would prefer that RP become a tag I can search for either in fellowships and or in the Party Finder. I think you can search for it in fellowships, but fellowships don't always they're not really about having active recruiting right now things going on. Party Finder is. They're tools for different things.
Yeah.
Pisses me off.
Okay, I'm done.
All right. All right, some miscellaneous updates. New indicators for bonuses for ocean fishing. New instrument will be added to the performance feature. And a reward for obtaining all trial mounts from the 5.x series will be added, which is this insane-looking tech
Mechanical
dragon
bird.
fucking thing. It's so ugly. It doesn't do anything for me. As I know some people that were pretty excited and thought it looked badass, but I haven't liked... I think I liked the first horse, and I think I liked the bird.
Hell yeah, I like the bird.
I guess the dog wasn't bad.
I didn't get the dog one. Well, I guess because it was, what, 9 tails? What did you end up getting out of it?
Yeah.
So that's not bad. I didn't like... See, when they got to the doggos, the first couple of dogs didn't look good at all to me. And then they started getting better with, like, putting some of the flair on them. So, you know, the last few dogs looked really good.
Yeah.
And then they...
We should go back. They're easy to get now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm a collector, though. I like to have all the things. So I want this.
You'll get
and
it.
I'll
Just
get
won't
it.
use
but I might not use it. Or who knows? Maybe it'll look cooler to me in person. But I don't like techie stuff, and y'all know that.
That's why she's playing Sage.
Yeah. I try real hard not to whine about it too much, but this is our podcast, and I'll whine about it a little bit.
That's right. It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to.
It's my party, and I'll cry if I want to. All right, they're giving out Dragon Song War Ultimate. We don't know much about it. It's a what-if scenario.
I know what we do know about it.
What?
We ain't getting it yet.
We ain't getting it yet. That's the big news, is we're not getting it till 6.1, which caused a lot of consternation on the interwebs about...
If it was a Final Fantasy spell, it would be called Meltdown. Because the 1% had a meltdown over this. Rightfully so.
Well, not just the 1%, though, but a lot of people do,
mainly
like,
the 1%.
who don't even do the content. They are interested in following the content, the people doing the content, right? There's a lot of people who watch the horse race but don't ride.
Yeah. Oh, it's important.
So I do get it.
Oh,
it's important, but I mean, of all the things, if they had to make a choice between this and that, and I think this is somewhere in here, it was going to affect the development of Endwalker.
Right.
If they had to choose between delaying the fucking patch further or doing an ultimate trial, I think they made the right choice.
Yeah. But my thing with all of it is they made that choice a long time ago. This was planned in the sense that it was planned that what thing would be cut when the time came. If something ever had to be cut, what would be cut? Everybody has a contingency plan, right? Like a company should have a contingency plan. Nobody knew coronavirus was coming and all the things that would entail with that. So, yes, I do believe they had 3 ultimates planned, or the 2 ultimates planned, or whatever they was. They were planning to do this ultimate. It was planned for 5.55. I believe that they were actually going to do that. But when they changed the order of that stuff for this go around, where it would be at the end and other stuff would be in the front, what did we swap around for that? It wasn't the deep dungeon because we didn't get a damn deep dungeon. It was
I don't know.
It was some other content that they swapped around for.
We got no Hildebrand. That's it.
Yeah. So anyway, when they swapped the content and they decided to put Ultimate at the end, that is their priority list. So when I say that the 1% had a meltdown, I'm not saying I'm calling them crybabies. I think Ultimate is good for the game as a whole. It pushes everything forward. If you don't have people pushing the game forward, you're not pulling the Care Bears along. You do have to have somebody pulling on one end to make the game better so things move forward. I do believe in Ultimate. But where people were wrong as a knee-jerk reaction to this was saying, oh, they fucked us or whatever. No. They planned this shit from the beginning. Not so much that they would cut it, but that if something needed to be cut, they moved this shit around in such an order that this would be the thing that would be cut. And it just happened that it needed to be cut. So they cut this thing out because they ultimately have to make a calculation. How many people get pissed off if this doesn't get made versus another thing? And it does come down to a calculation that says the 1% are going to have to just deal with it for a little bit longer. And I've seen the countdowns and I've seen the people saying, yeah, my shit's not, my party just broke up. My cat food thing is going off right now. So you get to listen to that. But I've seen the tweets. I saw the angry messages that said, this is, this felt personal. This is not how you make a game. We were promised this, whatever. They ultimately made a decision of what they needed to cut, but it was made a long time. It wasn't made as a knee-jerk reaction at the end. It was made during some planning meeting that we never saw the roadmap. That's how funny. We're going to scroll down and see a fucking roadmap here in a minute.
Do you remember roadmaps?
They got roadmaps. They're called internal roadmaps, and they didn't ask you who beat Ultimate and beat Ultimate Bahamut and beat Ultimate this, that, the other. They didn't ask you before they made it. So I'm not trying to do an and a boo-boo. I'm just saying it's just one of those things. I think Ultimate's good for the game. I think it's a great thing.
I think it's a shame not to have Ultimate in.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, it's awesome, and I'm hoping that people really enjoy it, and I'm looking forward to hearing the trials and tribulations of people who are working on it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm interested to hear about world firsts and data center firsts.
But it's not 6.0 either. It's 6.1.
Yeah.
So that's an even longer way. We'll talk about a vast wasteland. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It is what it is.
And between patch 5.55 and I've already forgotten when this is. This is going to be fall, right? 6.0 is fall. Mm-hmm. Is it fall?
When did they give? Didn't he give a date? Didn't the producer come out there and say you're going to have to do something for?
No, that was patch 5.55. He accidentally slipped and gave us the date.
I got you.
I think. I could be wrong, and now I've had a drink. So
that's okay.
But no, at the end of the day, if you have to decide whether you can keep if you can keep the casual, normal, and semi-hardcore people involved between patch 5.55 and 6.0, could they afford to push 6.0 off with no new content? That we don't need another vast wasteland. Mm-hmm. Oh, I mean, it's too bad, but well, and part of me, and this might not be true, but part of me feels like people who are doing Ultimate have already farmed up all their shit and are probably taking a break anyway.
Oh yeah, well they were taking a break until this patch.
Yeah.
But that break gonna get a little longer.
They might have to take. They're gonna have to take a much longer break because there's not gonna be
a much longer break.
Much longer break. It sucks. But I think they have to. I think they have to pick the expansion over.
Yeah, and that's the risk, right, Yelta? It's just like you said. That's the risk you run. If you pissed off too much of the base, you ain't gonna make any money. But if you piss off the guide makers, the ones on Twitch that are generating revenue by their hardcore content, your hardcore people who have communities that are around them, and they're bringing people from other MMOs because they're showcasing the cool shit. Is that worth the cost from a marketing perspective? Are you cutting that part out? I mean, I guess it would be a sucky cost if you had shitty, easy content that they beat in a day and it wasn't no good anyway. So, there's a lot of factors. They didn't call me. They didn't call you either.
I don't remember receiving my, what's that poll company called? I always get those polls.
The Nielsen ratings or something? I don't know.
I was a Nielsen person, but no. But anyway, no. Then there was a special talk section. Ask the devs. Let's not go over this.
No, the only thing I wanted to reference
it's going to be boring to talk about.
Is they actually show like some kind of roadmap in here?
They showed their development cycle.
They
talked,
Oh, and we're getting a PS5 version. I don't think we mentioned that. There's definitely a PS5
no,
version.
I think I closed the tab. We are getting a true PS5 version. I think April 13th is when it is. And I think that's patch 5.5.
Yeah.
5.
And then you get a free upgrade from PS4, right? Isn't that right?
I was honestly surprised.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I thought for sure they were going to actually charge for this one, but yay.
It's good. It's real good.
Good. Also real good, we're getting a digital fan festival on May 14th and 15th. Yay. So I think everything is free. Did it say?
Yeah, everything is free. I think,
except there are. I think the mount, which is that the lunar whale? Was it?
You got the lunar whale. Yeah,
and then there's some minions. I think those are those. I think cost.
Right.
Is that like an 8 fucking person mount?
It's world first. world premiere.
I don't know why, but I think I have to have it.
Well, I mean, it was a kind of a big deal because one, it plays the Final Fantasy IV Lunar Whale music, which, oh my god, and then I just have to say, Final Fantasy IV was so big. I know it was big for you. It was so big for me. I have the original game, like when GameFAQs was like actually good, like back when it like started. I went to school or whatever and printed the GameFAQs. I had it on a diskette and I printed it from the school, and I still have the same map colored in Final Fantasy IV in ASCII symbol guide that I had printed at my high school, so I could play Final Fantasy IV and get the Rat's Tail, because I needed the guide so I could get the ultimate weapons. But Final Fantasy IV is a huge deal. Hearing that Lunar Whale music was amazing. The minions are all Final Fantasy IV related. I think, what is it like? It's like Rydia and Rosa and Kain, I think, or something like that. Anyway.
My memory's so bad. I look at them and I'm like, they look familiar, but I probably haven't played that game in 30 years. Whatever. Yeah,
or maybe it was Yang. I don't know. Anyway, it's cool that they're doing this. This is really neat. I think the other caveat, other than like you have to buy the minions, is that, and the mount is the musical performances. I think we're gonna get that, but I don't think you can expect those to be like replayable. I think that's like
they might have to be. All stage events will be broadcast live. There's no description here of recorded stuff.
Right. So you got to be there to see it. Once it's over, it's over. It's gone.
Yeah, I have a lot of vacation. I might just fucking take a couple days off.
Yeah.
As if I was going to Vegas. Maybe we'll get on some Discord shared calls or something.
There you go. We can have
together.
another,
that could be fun.
like a margarita
listening
night,
party or something.
a taco night.
Yeah, taco. Maybe they'll announce tacos.
Hey,
I'm excited. I don't know. I'm so sad we didn't get to go to Vegas this year, but
it's interesting how everything worked out. I hope that overall this was all the right decision. I mean, it kept people healthy, so obviously it was the right decision to do. And I hope that it just means when we do get back together, it's just like it's going to be the best, Yelta. It's going to be the best. And my son will be potty trained by the time that happens. So that'll be even better.
Yes. I got to get my ass in shape. I've been sitting in this chair too long. I have to get into some training so I can actually walk around and not die at Fan Festival when it happens. Oh. All right. We also have pre-order new merchandise. There's a bunch of T-shirts. I haven't pulled any of these up.
Yeah, there's things I know I have to get. Like the music. I got to get the music.
Fan Festival 2021. That's a cute shirt.
It loaded and then it went away, so I'm trying to reload it. Okay, here we go.
There's some T-shirts, but of course they're not going to be anything that's like super. It's not going to be 6.0 stuff. It's all going to be. It looks like it's all just like Hades, and I don't know that Hades. That's a nice purple T-shirt. Probably doesn't come in my fat ass size.
Like, let me tell you something. Honestly, what popped out of me was this mask. I think if you had asked me a year ago or 6 months ago, I would have been like, why would I get the mask? But masks are here to stay.
Get the mask.
So I think mask is really kind of a cool option. I'm trying to look at this mask case and see if does a mask come included with that? Because that seems very high to not have a mask in it.
To not have a mask with it.
See, I'm kind of bad. I put my mask in my back pocket. Like, and I take it off.
Mine goes in my purse.
Yeah, so that's probably, everybody's like, oh my gosh, you're just spreading the germs everywhere. Like, I don't know. But I put it in my back pocket, so I don't know that I would have this case to carry things around in. And if it doesn't come with a mask already in it, I'm like, not for $30. No, thank you.
Yeah, I might need some music. That's not abnormal for me to need. Well, that's got a bonus code. What's the bonus code? Because, I'm going to need some bonus items. Am I blind? What is the... Surround Cushion's cute, but I would never use it.
3 extra track songs are collaborations. See full product details. Each first-run edition also contains bonus in-game item codes. Neath Dark Water Signs and Sinner's Orchestrion Roll. and a long fall sign sincere catch your roll. In fact, a long fall, they have the video for it up here. And it's actually a pretty neat video. It showcases the boys. And then you see Koji Fox a little bit at the end, but I think they got Soken or somebody dressed as a Dark Asian doing the dances from in-game periodically throughout the video. So it's actually pretty neat.
I see him in the back.
Yeah, it's really cute. It's really cute. There's another video. I don't know if we had talked about this one on the last episode, but there was another video, and it had Koji Fox at the top, and the rest of them. I don't know if that was Neath Dark Waters or if it was another one. Koji, I love him, but he always comes off as a little goofy to me in these videos.
He's
just
goofy,
because
but he's lovable.
He is lovable. I mean, he's a great guy, and he actually took a picture with me and the fam in an elevator with Susan Calloway. It was kind of odd. We got on a floor, and then he got on, and then we went down a floor, and then Susan got on, and I was like, can I have a picture with both of you in this elevator? And they took one, so it was kind of cute.
Kind.
But he does look kind of goofy. Like when you're standing next to the guys, it's like he doesn't. It's one of these faces, not like the other. He's so tall, and he's so awkward looking when he does the dances. The other four guys look so musically cool, and he looks so awkward. One of these things is not. That's why they dress him up like an Asian, I guess. Is so he's whatever. That's my take. Yeah, I would look the same if they stuck me in them.
Oh, my goodness.
He also does these rap moves that I don't understand. I call them, I don't know if they're rap moves. I call it that because it reminds me of some like late 80s, early 90s rapper where they like flare one hand out while they got one hand on the mic and they like throw the other hand out. I'm doing the motion now. You're seeing it, right? We're like jamming.
Visualizing it.
So I got my right hand out, flaring out, and he's doing that in this video, and I'm like, "That's your move, dude. That's the move." So
I don't. That's a dude though, who found his dream job. I feel.
Yes,
like.
he did.
I always feel like that. I just always feel like he found something he's amazing at.
Oh, there's a few people who have kind of fit that role to me, and this Koji Fox is one of them, and our boy Reinhardt is another one. He went from fans translating 1.0 stuff to working as a rep. So
and the dude can
very
carve
cool
pumpkins.
stuff. Yes, very well, in fact. No, this game has done amazing things for amazing people and has let me meet amazing people like Yelta. So this
Think
is
of all
a
the
good
content
game.
creators, right? All the content creators, all of the friends we've made in game. I mean, I have people that I chat with privately outside of any Final Fantasy stuff. You know, it's good times. All right, speaking of times, I think it's closing time. I think we chatted for long enough. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. You can find links to all of our episodes and blog posts on our website, www.gtffxiv.com. While you're there, please leave us a comment. If you'd like to, you can click the donation button. You can find us on Twitter at GTFFXIV. You can email us at gtffxiv@gmail.com. Please rate us wherever you listen to us. Personal plugs, Ruby.
Yes, you can find me on Twitter at RubiconVale, RubiconVale.
And you can find me on Twitter at Yelta Sumasu, YeltaSumasu. And again, a reminder, we're probably going to go missing for about a month, so don't worry, we're here. As always, thanks for listening, and we will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.